So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Uwe Boll Raw. I'm eating and drinking, and look at my head. I got hurt on my head, but it's almost healed. I drove with a bike in a branch, and only my ball hammerhead was able to save my life. I have a hard head always, and then I got bitten by a tick. Maybe I get no Lyme disease. If you never hear me again, I got the Lyme disease actually, and then you can follow the obituary everywhere else. But I hope I don't get it, and we can continue. Gary and I make a great podcast on Audacity or whatever the fuck now. Now you find it, Uwe Boll Raw Podcast. We have a website, a new website, Gary Otto did. And here is Uwe Boll Raw. What we can say. I just read that Alec Baldwin shot on set in New Mexico, the Western. He produced also by accident the camera woman and badly wounded the director. And it's a problem with the blanks. I assume it was a problem with the ammunition. We had problems like this on House of the Dead too. Like Ona Grauer shot with a pump gun in the long lens from Matthias Neumann, and part of the projectile sticked in the middle of it. Otherwise, with a short lens, maybe Matthias Neumann would be dead. And the problem is, of course, in a real bullet, the shell gets out and the bullet gets through. In a blank, the fire goes through furniture. That is the reality. And everybody now is against rehab. So I wrote the letter, it had huge impact. I was on radio, I was on TV, I was everywhere in Vancouver. The politics wrote to me, the mayor of Vancouver wrote, the vulnerable, we have to protect the vulnerable. And I said, yeah, but they have the residents, like in Gaston, we got, like when I had my restaurant, Bauhaus, right? We got robbed, stabbed. There was a dead person on the roof of the car from my wife. I had to step over dead people to get to the parking lot where my car was. And we gave donations, so don't blame me, who hates all the homeless, whatever. We gave donations, free lunches, free Christmas lunches. In the end, when I closed the restaurant, I gave food away for $30,000 to the food bank. You know, I did what I can, but you can't. You cannot help it. It will not get better. And you need to have, like, a rehab possibility for them outside of the city, in the nature, away from everybody they know. And you don't give them free drugs, you give them only intermission drugs to get off the drugs completely, and they should go through a program what takes 1 or 2 years. Yes, it's expensive, but more expensive, for example, in Vancouver, on the 5 blocks where the homeless were, you have 2,000 drug deaths a year, and you have over 100 million spent only for police and ambulances per year. 100 million. So think about it. If you long term, and politics need a vision and not always like, I think about 2 weeks in advance. So no. Yes, it costs $500 million to put them away from there. But Vancouver gets destroyed by them. The tourists hate it. Vancouver's not a livable city. The more people hate Vancouver now. They're coming into Vancouver and say, oh my God, it's zombie Armageddon there. And then the romantic ideas of it's a community. No, it's not a community. It's like a shit show. Drug addicted zombies running around, shitting in the middle of the street, throwing up and dying. And then they get an ambulance driver told me he reanimated the same person 3 times in 1 day. Means you put him out, Narcotan, back to the hospital, walk back there, overdosed again, Narcotan, reanimation, hospital, back and overdosed again, 3rd time. I mean, what the fuck? If you don't wake up based on this, then I really don't know if you're out of your fucking mind or not. So, but the reality is, it has to stop. It's residents and citizens and tourists and the city of Vancouver. You know, in LA, you have a lot of homeless, but they're on the corner of the 405, whatever, when you drive out. They're not on Ocean Drive or Beverly Hills Cannon Drive with 10,000 people. But that is exactly what's happening in Vancouver. Gaston, Strathcona, Chinatown are dead. businesses will not survive. The people don't want to live there anymore. They don't want to walk there. The hotels, when the cruise ships coming back, whatever, they say don't go there. Go only to the steam club in gas town and then go back. So it's completely harm to the citizens and residents and tourists what's happening there, and that harm comes. I mean, let's face it. Also, not every drug addict is a victim. You know, we have to get that out of our head that the vulnerable victims have trauma whatsoever. No, total bullshit. You know, it's total bullshit. Half of them are absolutely ridiculous, ungrateful fucking pricks and criminals, and they should be locked up. And they're getting not prosecuted for robberies. Whatever, we got robbed various times. Police said, don't file charges. It's too much paperwork. So, but with that attitude, if nobody ever gets punished, maybe only murder is getting punished, but assault, whatever, who gives a shit? You know, if I assault my neighbor, Uwe Boll assault a neighbor, boom, jail term, 250,000 attorney costs to defend myself. That is what would happen to me. They are like, nah, he's a vulnerable person, just let him go. I mean, it's completely insanity poor. It has to stop. The mayor has to change, or mayor gone, new mayor, you know, and we need a premier and the mayor together with the president of Canada, with Trudeau, coming to a solution, because from all of Canada, because Vancouver is the warmest city in Canada, all of the homeless coming there, so it needs also a federal solution. They have to spend the money, build a facility outside, like in the nature, for $1 billion, what can house 5,000-6,000 people at the time, with psychological help, with doctors' help, with gives them food, gives them drugs to get off drugs, keeps them there, but they have to be there. It's a mandatory thing, you know. So, and then you have to treat them, get them in a job, that they learn a job, that they slowly entering from there the society in jobs, like, you know, sleeping there in the end and working somewhere, coming back, being a long time clean. Yeah, it's a lot of work, you need a lot of money, but you spend way more money for helping nothing, helping only policing and ambulances, and the drug addicts are not happy. The drug addicts getting worse and worse, they're getting more and more, the citizens getting resentful, everybody hates everybody, the value of the city goes down, the tourist amount goes down, so the money goes down, the tax income goes down, because people going away from Vancouver. So think about all of this, and then create a budget. What is $1 billion when you can spend $1,000 billion for lockdown costs? So spend $1 billion and build a facility, or renew Riverview, renovate it, make it more life friendly, and then you take them off the streets to mandatory rehab. Like get court orders for 3-4 months that they're basically locked up. They're getting clean, but they're getting help, and it will be better. You know, it's not like life is always so easy and so nice. No, it's like sometimes it's chemo or amputation, and that is what the situation in Gastown now is. You know, and that is what the situation is. Everything else is totally a blurred sunglasses, bullshit, pink view of the world, but it has nothing to do with the reality. The reality is it's down the drain, it's life dangerous, it's horrible, and it needs to change with bold, big action. Yeah, it takes 2 years or 3 years to build a facility, but you can also use, for example, fast build container blocks and you know, like container housing. All this can go faster if the cash flow is there. There are a lot of people they offer this kind of faster builds, and you can start with 1,000 people with a faster build, and then you build a real facility behind it for the long-term care, you know. So, and so my last note is about this. Don't, as all the doctors and all the schools, whatever, and parents, don't give your kids drugs. It's bad. Even marijuana is bad. It's not good to smoke marijuana. So many kids in Vancouver, the tiny little psychological problem, what's happening to them. Well, no, you need this, Adderall, whatever, all the fucking psychopharmaca. They're making shitloads of money on young children who getting like running around. I walked at UBC, and there was a woman with a daughter that ran around, that she daughter looked like a completely zombie. She didn't even react to anything. But the opposite is, if you don't give her the pills, she flips completely out and want to jump over the cliff. So, but what is that? I mean, what is that? What are we doing to our kids, to the cell phone addicted and then early also drug addicted kids? What are we doing to them? We have to stop also the medication of children and teenagers. We have to instead parent, get them out, get them away from cell phones, from video game consoles, and let them sleep, get them into a rhythm, let them make let them make sports, be connected to the environment, connect also and be aware. Life is not easy. There will be dispute, there will be stress, go away from the parachute pairing, from the bulldozer pairing. Go away from it, let your kid make their own experiences. If your kid is unsecure, it has to build confidence, and not through you, through yourself as a kid. Overcome bullies, live with bullies, but answer them. I think it's very, very important for the parents, for the schools, for the teachers, and for the child doctors. So don't medicate kids right away. Forget it. Let them live. Let them be down and up and depressed and loud and silent. That is life. I mean, I'm a little older, right? So, and nobody ever in Germany had the idea to give any kid any pills for psychological problems, how I grew up. It was like, no, get over it, and then don't be, I don't want to get bullied. No, you have to learn to stand above bullshit like this. If somebody says you're ugly, right? Or you're fat, or you're unsportive, or you're unattractive, or you're a fucking idiot, whatever. Tell them, fuck you, and do your thing, and if you're too fat or too thin, think about watching this in the mirror, and also accept criticism that it's sometimes nailing the point, but then you can actually do something against it. The reality in life is you cannot just say, I'm super fat and I keep eating my fucking Pringles, and then I Twitter and make cancel culture against everybody who's fat shaming me. No, it's also on you to maybe adjust to something because it's unhealthy for you. So slim down as an example. There are things you can work on your body, you can work on your health, and you should. And you should be not feeling ashamed by it. You should be not feeling like, no, I'm happy how I am, you can be happy as you am, and you can be fat or thin or insecure, whatever. You can do whatever you want, but you cannot dig yourself into a grave with it. That in reality you're not happy about it, but you're not doing anything about it. That the name for this is growing up, right? And as an adult also, I think it's very, very important to have to face problems, face on, don't close your eyes for reality, accept reality and work your way out of it. Show discipline, show strength, develop this. As go against resistance and succeed against resistance and stuff like this. That is life. I mean, what generation of kids we want? Mommy, they're 40 and you're 75 as a parent, right? And they're still, mommy, give me money. I got fired because the guy looked at me strange. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what children, what generation we're creating? Total bullshit. So we need to stop the bulldozer parachute parenting and seeing only the fault at the teachers, the fault at the friends or whatsoever. No, it's like you are always a victim and a perpetrator in life, and you are always a victim, and also you do harm to other people, whatever, in what form, whatever. That is life. So, and I think it's very, very important to face what life really is, and that you only will be successful or happy in the end if you face the music and you and you get through real life, and you don't have a cushion over your head and a pink cloud over your head protected by some pills or some parents, So for all teenagers. Break free, do your own, create your own life, your own destiny, your own wealth, your own work, your own strategy, and it will help you in the long run. You know, nobody should need anybody to find strength, happiness, success. I mean, it's easier with more other people, of course, right? So, but in general, that means in general. So, okay.